Now, broadcasting on Radio Star Worldwide, it's time for Dr. Rademakers' Prescription for Transformation. Let's tap into your own authentic genius and live the life you desire. Join Dr. Rademaker for an enlightened conversation about our brain intelligence, our body intelligence, and our energy intelligence. And now, here's your host, Dr. Bart Rademaker.
So welcome for your prescription for your transformation. I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker talking to you from Tampa, Florida. And this is hashtag real people, hashtag real conversations. And I always like to start this show with the reframe or the pre-frame of what this is really all about. Because when you think about it, it's not by any mistake that you're here right now, wherever you are, whether you're actually listening to this or for those who aren't listening to this. Or maybe that is a mistake. So no, it's not a mistake that you're here. Because it's, in essence, if you think about it, you are the summation of all your experiences, all your decisions, all your beliefs, all your values, everything that you've done up to this very, very moment. And so that's why I say, there's an opportunity for all of us. There is that opportunity for us in our free will to be able to design our life. And the way that we get to do that is by tapping into that intelligence. Because we do live in an intelligent universe. Nothing happens by random. As much as it may seem chaotic, it's not by random, and it's also, again, by the summation of all things that you decided. So where do we start to figure out how to make that design? Because with whatever you know now has brought you to this moment right here. But how are you going to go forward? What is it that you need to know? What is it that you don't know? What is it that you don't know that you don't know? So again, what is possible? What is possible for our body? What is possible for our lifestyle? Because again, your future is here right now in your hands as you start making those decisions as to what can happen. But here's the rub. The rub is that we're running programs. The shoulds, the should nots, what's okay, based on your experience. And therefore, there's a lot that might just prevent. Our nutrition is changing. Our economy is changing. Business is changing. A lot of changes are happening in our world today. Yes, we are very fortunate to be living in this high-tech environment. The things that we get to do, the things that we get to experience. But let's stop for a moment and ask ourselves, what is success? What is success for you? And is that actually becoming harder to maintain? Again, success for your body, optimum body, success in your lifestyle, success in your job. Because there's an interesting concept that's happened over the years as we've noticed these revolutions that have happened, with the train, the steam engine, the trains, cars, and internet, the wellness revolution. But a lot of the revolutions have happened because of distribution. So here's the question, and I want to start off with this great show because I'm delighted to be talking to Drew Berman. An amazing individual, high energy, tapping into an intelligence that I want to share with you so that you can tap into yours. Because it's all about what's the ideal body? What is your ideal body? What is your ideal job? What is your ideal life? And this guy has that answer for you. So I want to welcome Drew Berman. How are you today, Drew?
Hey, Bart, I'm great. Thanks for having me, and I love your show and your enthusiasm and your take on life. So thank you. I appreciate you, and I'm happy to be here.
Great. So let me introduce Drew. Drew is a guy that works from the heart, which is, I love that part because it's really, we need to get back to that heart, that space where all things are good. But he's an entrepreneur in nutrition and anti-aging. He's a speaker. He's a trainer, author, and coach. and an amazing human being that I had the fortune to meet at Craig Duswalt's marketing boot camp about a month ago. And I just noticed how he was able to engage with so many different people with high energy, got their interest, got that connection, and I really had to know who this fellow was, and I'm privileged to know him as well. But I want to start off with a question: is that you were telling me that your story began when you were 18 as a hot dog vendor. Tell me your story and tell me where you are today.
That's a funny story. I haven't actually told that in a long time. Thanks for reminding me. At 18 years old, I worked at Shea Stadium, where the Mets used to play in New York City, and I was selling hot dogs. And our training was one of the most absurd things I had ever done. It was right before baseball season, so there's nothing emptier than an empty baseball stadium. And the training I got was an empty bin of pretend non-existing hot dogs, and I walked up and down an empty aisle yelling at no people, hot dogs, and that was my training. And I thought, well, if I could do this, I can do anything. And for 2 years while the Mets played, that was back in a while back, and got a chance to really meet people and connect and learn how to deal with crowds. And people would remember me because I was the one guy in front of thousands. So people would recognize me, and then I started kind of getting into a little bit of showmanship, and then I started getting tips, and then I started getting job offers, and that was all pre-college. And that's when I realized that jobs and life and business can be fun. Then I went off to college, studied actually marketing and business and communications, and then got involved in real estate in New York City, and that's where I learned a lot about fast-paced decisions, buying, phones, customers, clients, integrity, commission, lifestyle. And then I took a break at 28 years old. I actually took a bicycle ride around the world. I took an organized bike tour, a 35-country bike tour in 6 continents, and took a whole year to do it. And that was an amazing thing to do for all you young folks and young at heart. I took some time to travel by bicycle, and it was amazing. That was
wow, amazing.
We'll have to do a whole show on that, but it was it was certainly one of the best things I had ever done in my whole life. It was extraordinary.
How old were you then?
I was 28 and single.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So you could actually afford to do that at that time, at that age, just not work at all for an entire year because of all the incredible work that you had done beforehand. Is that right?
Yeah, and if you'll indulge me just for a moment, I know we didn't discuss this before, but people always ask, how much it was, and I always love to tell people what it included and have them guess. So if you'll indulge me, I had to pay in full February 1999. And it included 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner for a year we prepaid. It also included 18 international flights. It included sleeping for a year, 60% camping and 40% hotels. It included a bike. Raleigh made a bike specifically for us. It included a massage therapist and a mechanic. It included an 18-wheeler and a daily route guide and a truck to carry our gear and nothing else. What do you think that ride cost, prepaying a year in advance for a year on the road? And there were 200 people that did it, by the way.
All right. Well, what comes out is $100K.
Yeah, and people have guessed as low as $5,000 and as high as $100,000. The actual ride was they advertised it as $100 a day, which would have been $36,000. I signed up in '97, so I got $3,000 discount. I ended up paying $33,000 for that experience.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It was
So
amazing.
what? So after that, so where are you today?
All right, so I came back from the ride and got into back into real estate, where I was really struggling. At this point, the whole profession had changed. The people I'd worked with had changed. The model had changed. So I tried to, revisit, and I went to what's called a BNI, Business Networking International, and I was there with other entrepreneurs. And someone said to me, "You seem like a sharp guy." Compliment. Are you open, question, to additional streams of income? And handed me a CD that said, Living in a High-Tech and High-Touch World. Well, I listened to the audio, and I was in. And I didn't know, but I got involved in network marketing. In fact, I got involved in a company called Amway, and I didn't know because they were changing over to their online brand, which was called QuickStar. And before a couple months were gone, I didn't even realize I was in a company called Amway.
Right. So what was your initial experience? I mean, how did you do in the beginning?
Well, that word for some baby boomers is a curse word, and for some,
why is that? Why is that a curse word?
Well, you know what? A lot of people, over 30, 30 to 70, have been, there's a company that's done billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in multiple countries, and it attracts a lot of people. And just like you're a doctor, there's some good doctors, and there's some bad doctors. There's some exceptional doctors like you who are passionate and educated and committed and long-term professionals. And then there's some doctors that aren't really very good at being a doctor. And quite frankly, the most negative word you would ever hear about a doctor, I don't even know if it's a real word or it's just used in movies, but maybe like a quack, right? Like a fake.
Right.
And, you hear maybe a stereotype about maybe car salesmen or insurance salesmen. So for some reason, network marketing, and particularly Amway, because it attracted the masses, you had some exceptional people. And then you had some people who were challenged. They didn't learn the profession. They didn't learn the language. They didn't learn the posture. They didn't learn the sophistication of an online internet marketing business, and they might have gone down the wrong track, and they might have offended some friends, and they might have mentioned it in personal settings that weren't necessarily appropriate. So when I came on board, I was 2006. I was like 24-ish. I was in that range. Maybe it's 26-ish range. So I had zero challenge with the company. I had zero challenge with their history. I had no knowledge. I didn't go in skeptical at all. I went in completely wide open with, hey, this seems like a good business. But, let me dabble. Oh, they have nutritional products. Oh, great. They have cleaning products for the home. Great. All products that are able to be reused and consumables. The business model made sense. Referring others made sense. So I kind of went all in. And I didn't take it on as a full-time job. I took it on as a part-time business, which is the way you're supposed to do it. And, quite frankly, my experience was good. My income was not. For 5 years of being involved in that world, I didn't attract a lot of customers. I didn't attract a lot of business partners. I didn't make any money. In fact, it cost me a lot of money. And I didn't realize that I was getting my PhD in network marketing. You were a doctor, and without going through the specifics, you spent probably at least 4 years in college. Then I'm guessing you spent at least 4 to 6 years in med school. And then I'm guessing you also spent quite a bit of money on your education. Is that mostly accurate?
Well, I'll do the math for you. A total of 17 years of education in medicine before I started practicing.
Wow. Well, that must have cost you a lot, obviously cost you a lot of time, energy, and money. Well, in network marketing, which is also a legitimate business, just like medicine is, it costs time, energy, and money. But most people think they sign the application and that means they won the lottery. The opposite is true. You have to pay your dues. You have to pay your dues in law school, you have to pay your dues in medical school, and in network marketing, you have to pay your dues. Yes, there's some people that have great success right out the gate. I was not one of them. It took me years to understand this language of helping and serving people and the law of attraction. Through the law of attraction is how I met you. You had such a bright, vibrant energy in a room of 300 or 400 people, and our for some reason, like our eyes, it was like love at first sight. It was like I connected with you, you connected with me. We kind of were walking in the same direction. We both shook out our hand, and like I felt like we had an instant connection. Well, that's because we're vibrating at a high level, and I feel like because I've been a student of the law of attraction and the vibration that I'm giving out, and the what I think about, I bring about, and the quality of people that I want to attract into my life, I consciously focus on. I believe that's how we literally manifested each other, and we instantly developed a relationship and started talking about lots of great stuff like life after medicine and the state of food and nutrition, and then manifested into a friendship and the topic of this call. But back then, I didn't have that radar. I was like a lost New York kid trying to figure out business, and I was trying to sell a soap or a protein bar or a toilet cleaner, and I had no concept of any of the products or what it meant to be involved in an international mega marketing company. So I did that for 5
Drew,
years.
On that note, the concept of this kind of company, I like to go on a break, and I'd like to go back into that because I think that's the key to what this is all about, and this is where a lot of that confusion is, and I want to also share my experience in that as well. So I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, prescription for your transformation, #real people, #real conversation, talking to this amazing human being, Drew Berman, talking about network marketing, professional, as I like to put it, but more so, how is it that you can get your ideal body and ideal lifestyle right after this break?
We'll be back with Dr. Rademacher right after these. It's people's secrets that make them interesting. People have been trusting their secrets to longtime business journalist Judy Schreiner for the last 25 years. And now you can hear them too on Radio Star Worldwide every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So have you been to the Horse and Cow yet? The Horse and Cow is a bar that caters to the submariner fleets and has been doing it for over 60 years. They've been in San Diego, San Francisco, Bremerton, and Guam. Today, they are famous for their burgers and hot wings and their signature drink, New Quaist. On their show, they talk with the brewing houses and distillers, liquor distributors, and patrons of the Horse and Cow. Yes, the Horse and Cow has a reputation for being an off-the-hook bar for submariners. But everyone is welcome, so pull up a chair and join the fun. And if you can't make it to the Horse and Cow Live, listen every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Radio Star Worldwide. It's happy hour at the Horse and Cow. Welcome back to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. And now, once again, your host, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
And this is your prescription for your transformation. And think about it for a second. It's a prescription to change your life. It's a prescription to design and create the life that you desire. And it's finding out what that intelligence is that you need to tap into so that you can experience your life on your terms. I'm excited to be talking to Drew Berman. He is a network marketing professional. And let me explain that for a moment, because there's all this hype and all this negativity around network marketing. And I think it comes down to something that Drew was alluding to before the break. And that is this, is that most professionals, they go through a lot of training. And I understand that Drew was a hot dog vendor professional, and he went through his training. And so, what's interesting about network marketing is this illusion that this is going to be a magical experience, that success is going to be immediate, that you don't have to work really hard to it, and you're going to get rich beyond any kind of concept. And the truth is that that's not true. It takes approximately about 7 years of very dedicated work, and I'm sure Drew will acknowledge this, into this kind of arena to be really, really successful. And it requires a certain kind of skill. But this is what I love about being a network market professional. And I'm going to be really transparent here. I am I signed up with 4 different ones because I love the products. And because I love the products so much, I thought, well, maybe I can make a business out of this as well. And the truth is that I never dedicated the time to that because I was really involved with a lot of other things, being a plastic surgeon, writing my books, doing all this humanitarian stuff that I do. And so I never really dedicated enough time for it. But I can tell you this, the most exciting thing about network marketing, being a network marketing professional versus a network marketing amateur or a network marketing poser, being that professional gives the opportunity for anyone, and I'm going to say this again, for anyone to be extremely successful. The only thing that limits you is yourself. And so when you start deciding, what is your ideal job? It's very interesting because if you're really serious about getting into network marketing, there's a book. It says Go Pro, about professional network marketing by Eric Worre, Worre. I saw the fellow last week. He wrote this incredible book. I've listened to it twice. And what's amazing about it is that he really starts honing into what's your ideal job. So the question for any listeners right now, what is your ideal job? And most people will start talking about all the things that they don't like.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you do come to start talking about what you do like. And what is it? You're your own boss. You determine your own time. You've got the freedom that you want. You're doing something that you're passionate about. You've got this connection with other people. You get to meet other people and hang around with them, and then create an income revenue and a lifestyle, and then finally financial independence. I mean, it just can't get better than that. Am I right, Drew?
Well, gosh, you said so much there that is powerful and important. So let me just acknowledge you're clearly well studied on the topic, and what's really amazing about that is, you have reached what most of society says is, the epitome of success. You are a doctor, and at least growing up in my generation. The doctor is the highest level of, respected in the community. Now, here you are at a high level of doctor saying you've been around network marketing, you've heard of it, you've not only heard of it, but you've endorsed it, and you decided 4 times to try it. You used the word try, and once again, to go back to being a doctor, if I wanted to have surgery done, I wouldn't want my surgeon saying, he was trying surgery today, and people understand that commitment level at the doctor level or at an athletic level. So network marketing requires the same thing. Now, I don't know if it necessarily does take 7 years to create success. For me, it did. Certainly, people in the company and the product we're about to talk about have had massive success, much faster than me. I actually just celebrated my 10-year anniversary in my current company, which we're going to talk about. And people are having really tremendous success, and it's mostly because of the product. And that's how you and I initially started a conversation. And I was introduced to a product that impacted me and my family in a profound way, that I took it upon myself to research the company and see if there was a way I can get involved from a network marketing perspective. So let's talk about that a little bit, because that's how things dramatically changed for me.
Yes, go ahead. So what is the product?
So, I also was looking for a better way in life. I was sick of the daily grind. I was sick. I'll paint a picture. I was 36 years old. I was living in Manhattan, New York City, Manhattan, and I was paying $2,700 a month rent for 700 square foot apartment. And I was BBB. I was busy but broke, and I was working 60 hours a week selling advertising and trying to make ends meet. A man walked into my office. He was a financial guy, Park Avenue type of guy, and he was down 42 pounds and 8 inches off his waist at about 38 or 40 years old. Now, I was blown away by his results, and he started talking about this nutritional cleansing program, this nutritional cleansing system that he had done that had helped him lose this weight. So myself and my advertising partner tried the program, and I saw my business partner lose his double chin in 1 month. And you know you can't suck in a double chin, right?
Mm-mm.
So I went on the program, which is called Isagenix. Isagenix stands for Balanced Health, and I was told I would have a myriad of great results, and weight loss would be one of them. And I tried the product, and I lost some weight. I felt great, and I felt younger and healthier, and I was down to my high school weight. And all of a sudden, I said, "Look, I think we have something here." So my chiropractor at the time said I was adjusting better, and he looked at one of the products, and it's one that you have now. It's that Ionic Supreme. And he said it had folic acid and MSM, and I didn't know what that was, but apparently it's high-end nutraceutical, very good stuff that athletes were using and Olympians were using. He said in this program is natural organic joint lubricator. I said, really? He's like, yeah, your adjustments are holding better. He's like, you got to get me some of this stuff. 10 years ago, that's what we called it, stuff. So he went on the program. He lost 12 pounds in 9 days. And he said, this is great. He started educating his clients and his patients and his colleagues on it. So my dad went on the program and lost 56 pounds at 62 years old. And he was what we lovingly called president of the Cheaters Club. Let's just say my dad didn't follow the system exactly the way it's supposed to go.
Right.
So I looked at my wife and I said, listen, we got to check this company out. We got to go out to where they are and meet the owners and meet the doctors and meet the millionaires and meet the athletes and see what's up. So I flew to a company convention, and there were 3,000 people there. And the company was just getting going. They were 4 years old at the time. And I started learning about the history of the company and the quality of the products and the scientists and the nutritionists and the world-class experts that were there from Harvard and from Mount Sinai and colorectal surgeons, and they had the 100-pound club. They had men and women that were standing on stage. They were down 100 pounds, and the men and women were standing in the man's old pants because he had lost so much weight. And they had the athletes. They had the gymnasts and Olympians and bodybuilders. And then they started talking about anti-aging, and I was like, oh, my gosh. And then they talked about the history of the company and how the formulator, as we grew up learning about vitamins and the importance of vitamins, he grew up and spent 40 years, 4 decades, becoming one of the experts in the world in minerals and mineral depletion and why our soil has changed over the last 5 decades and the quality of food. And he has been hired by over 60 companies on the span of 50 years to make the best product that they can find with a limited budget. And he got bit, the formulator, by a recluse spider in Arizona, and they were going to amputate his foot. And he said, you're not going to amputate my foot. I'm a master herbalist. I'm a mineralogist. I'm a nutritionist. I'm an expert in food formulation. I'm going to heal myself. And he did. And he said, I've got a bigger picture. I've got a bigger game to play. He was a retired mega multimillionaire with many governmental awards for quality of food. And he called up the Jim and Kathy Coover, who had 40 years in marketing and network marketing and distribution. He said, listen, let's come out of retirement. Let's create something magical. And they said, only if it's going to be bigger than any company in history, and only if it's going to make a difference, and only if we do it the right way. He says, what if you make the best product you can make and do it with no budget? And that was the first time in 50 years that any CEO said to him, make the best product you can find, no limit to budget. So he went all over the world. He was in 40 different countries. He collected herbs and adaptogens from 50 years of knowledge. And 48 hours later, he said, this is the system that's going to change lives. And they sent out 500 9-day systems, and they did 10 million in 9 months. They did like 30 million in 24 months. And in their first 30 months, they did more without advertising than Nike did in their first 5 years.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
And people started crying and telling stories, and I was like blown away at what I was hearing. And then the owners came out, and they started talking about the vision of the company, which is to free people from physical and financial pain, and in the process create the largest health and wellness company in the world.
That is so awesome. And so what I like to do, Drew, is right after this break, let's talk about some of the very specific products. And I want to share my own personal experience because I love the product and I love what it's been doing for me, and I just got started on it. And so for that, I'm extremely grateful to you, Drew. So I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, prescription for your transformation, #RealPeople, #RealConversations. Talking to Drew Berman from Isagenix, an incredible company and incredible opportunity for anyone who's looking to get that ideal body, that ideal job, and that ideal lifestyle. We'll be right back.
We'll be back with Dr. Rademacher right after these.
Hi, it's Blade, and I host a show right here on the Star Worldwide Networks. As an at least 30-year radio veteran, I have a tale or two to tell, and I've talked to them all.
Radio personality.
Now that's just nasty.
But I can't hear you, though, because the music is so loud.
You'll enjoy the show. It's weekly on Fridays live at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can catch all the shows on Star Worldwide at any time on demand.
All day, every day.
And hey, if you'd like to do your own show, give us a call or email, and we'll give you your own show. You'll be free to do whatever you want.
Why are people against the LGBT community?
We'll provide the internet bandwidth, the website for your show, and the studio.
It was very intense, very surreal.
This is the future.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
guys getting hits and jogging down the...
And with an eye to the future.
And you can do the show from anywhere in the world at any time.
Don Cromwell Live. Here it is, a beautiful Tuesday evening here in L.A.
Join on. It's the new frontier.
It's a new frontier.
It's awesome. The Star Worldwide Networks.
Create Indestructible Wealth with Paul Mata is heard every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern on RadiostarWorldwide.com. Join Paul Mata every Wednesday as he shares his easy tips and strategies that traditional financial advisors won't tell you about, creating your own indestructible wealth. Each high-energy show will pull back the curtain to the financial industry and help you become exceptionally savvy about your own finances so you can make, sustain, and protect your wealth in any economy. From Wall Street to Main Street, if you're just starting out or already a multi-millionaire, Paul's innovative system will help you create indestructible wealth. Heard every Wednesday afternoon on RadiostarWorldwide.com. Welcome back to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. And now, once again, your host, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
Welcome back. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, prescription for your transformation. #RealPeople, #RealConversation. Having a delightful conversation with Drew Berman from Isagenix. And one of the things that always fascinates me, and I like to call it social hypnosis. And I'm not going to try to describe where it comes from and the underlying motivations or whatever it is. But the truth is that we are being hypnotized with a bunch of programs that actually don't serve us. One of the programs says, well, as you grow old, you're going to be achy and you're going to have knee replacements and you're going to have this and you're going to have that. And so, and you listen to all the commercials on TV, advertising all these medications that you should go and ask your doctor about so that you could feel better. Well, here's the truth. The truth is that our DNA has the blueprint for a perfect body. But the challenge with the body is all the stuff, the bad stuff that you put into it. If you look at our environment, there's 350,000 different environmental toxins, and that's just to start off with what's wrong with what's going on around us. So the question is that if you want to have a great life, you've got to start off with taking care of your temple being your body, giving it the nutrition that it deserves. But the problem with our food these days is all the synthetics, all the manufactured processed foods that our body does not recognize, number one. And then, of course, all the crops and all the fruits and vegetables that have lost a lot of the minerals for whatever reason. And then on top of that, all the insecticides that's in them. So it's a challenge for our body. No wonder we get sick. And so what if we could feed our body the nutritional elements that the body really needs? And that's why it's delightful to hear this crusade, if you will. And you know what? I'm going to be really honest. There's a lot of people out there that are doing these things. There's a lot of companies out there. And from an economic standpoint, now people also have that opportunity to take care of themselves. But more of that later on. But right now, giving your body what it really needs is key. And so when I started taking this product, I noticed immediately massive changes. And I was excited because I was suffering from a couple of things, which I'm not going to go into details. Nothing serious, mind you. But within 24, 48 hours, I noticed an entire shift. And so right now, I'd like to talk about some of those products. And I'd like to ask Drew, let's start off, with the cleansing part, because detoxification is going to be key. So explain what the products are and what's going to happen with them.
Sure, and I appreciate your background, your thoughtful approach to it all, and even beyond the medical approach, your human approach to trying it. So I'm holding it in my hand. Isagenix Cleanse for Life is our formula, our foundation, and every ethnic group in the world has some kind of cleansing or fasting approach to not only spiritual, but health and wellness. It's kind of like having a car. And every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, we all know that we're supposed to change the oil. Otherwise, it gets all junked up and cluttered up. Well, same thing with our human body. They work as perfectly great machines unless we clog them. And even if you grow your own organic food in your backyard, you still have some toxins in the air, in the water, in the food. And what our cleanse does is it rids the body of toxins and impurities in a way that's natural and organic. And our joke is it's not a poopy type of cleanse, it's a pee-pee type of cleanse. It's not the type of thing that you have to camp out all day on the toilet. We work with, as I said, Olympic athletes as well as obese people and humans from 14 different countries. So one of the leading ingredients in our cleanse is something called aloe vera. Now, knowing everything that you know about life and food and nutrition and science and all that stuff, is aloe vera a good thing to have as our number one ingredient in our cleanse?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah. So what it does, one of the reasons I'm in for life is because at one of the meetings, a doctor stood up and said, heavy people will store their toxins and impurities in their fat cells, while thin and fit people will store it in their organs. And once I heard that, I was like, whoa. So this is a full-on organ, liver, kidney cleanse. And once it rids the body of toxins and impurities, I don't need to teach you this, but this is something that I learned, is that fat cells protect the body from toxins and impurities.
Right.
So if you release toxins and impurities, the fat cells have less of a purpose, and they are released. And they don't come back like they do in other programs. So our main program is our cleanse, and then we have a superfood nutrition shake that floods the body with the highest quality protein.
Hey, Drew, before you go into the next one, so let's be really clear on this one. So what you're saying, and just a light bulb just went off, and this is so obvious. I'm laughing at myself to not really make that connection and realize that before. So you're telling me that with the detoxification, as the body is removing the toxins, then there's no need for all that fat to protect you, right?
Correct.
And so that's why you lose the fat.
That's why it moves to fat. Yep.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yeah, because I always knew that, fat was a way to protect oneself from, the toxins affecting the body. It's just like a dump zone, if you will. So, but I never made that association as we did at detoxification that we also lost the weight. I thought it was more to do with the fact that you had to work out, which you do anyhow, and you have to change your calories, which you do need to do anyhow if you are overweight. But just the simple fact that as you detoxify the body, then you're also going to lose the fat. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, my pleasure. And then it took me a lot of years to realize that we weren't even a weight loss company because weight loss is so easy to market. I started telling everybody what I'm telling you, and 10 months later, we were making more in my 10-hour-a-week part-time side Isagenix business than I was making 60 hours a week in my full-time advertising dead-end job. And my wife says, wow, it doesn't look like you can afford to go to work anymore. And that's when we closed down. That's when we closed down the advertising company. And all of a sudden, I had 60 hours a week back in my life. I was like, wow, like this is cool. I was young, and I didn't have to go to work. But I had a following of people that wanted this knowledge. So we started educating people, and we started traveling, and we started doing events. And I've shared this story now with 500 people, and we've grown an organization internationally to 15,000. And last month was my 10-year anniversary with Isagenix. And my family, we are consumers. We have cookies, we have chocolates, we have skincare, we have protein shakes, pre-workout, post-workout. We have a full athletic line. I just did my first half marathon. We have the joint lubricators. We have multiple flavors of bars and cookies and snacks. So for my family, it's become a lifestyle. For our business, now we can't even stop it if we try. People like you have great results. They tell people, and it spreads and it spreads and it spreads and it spreads.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me about the other shakes, the other product you're going to talk about, the shake.
So we have 5 key products that are staple products. We have a product line of about 70, but our core 5 is the cleanse, which rids the body of toxins and impurities, the Ionic Supreme, which is a mineral adaptogen that helps with stress, and it helps with energy, and it helps with sleep. My sister, who studied biochemistry, said that we made up the word adaptogen. I said, oh, I didn't know that. Let me check. And I Googled it, and apparently adaptogen is a real word. It helps the body adapt. So you can actually have it in the morning to give you energy. You could have it at night to calm you down. And in times of stress, you can double and triple up on it. That's what our second product is. Our third is our Isagenix shake. The Isagenix shake is a full-on meal replacement. It has the exact amount of calories, protein, carbs, and fat. They actually, what's really exciting for me, and even developing a relationship with you, is when I first got started, we were attracting a lot of holistic health counselors and chiropractors and naturopaths. But now, since we've had actual science studies, we're now actually starting to attract a lot of medical doctors, which is really wonderful for chiropractors and holistic health nutritionists to play in the same space nicely with medical doctors. There's been several independent studies that have compared Isagenix to the heart-healthy diet. And because of the results, blood, cholesterol, under a microscope, etc., that actually blew away the American Medical Association heart-healthy diet, which is just amazing to me and to us.
The best part that I want to share too, because I've been exposed to a lot of different products. And, very early in my career as a plastic surgeon, I was sitting at my desk once and, I knew that I needed to be healthier. I mean, just think of all the greasy food and everything else that we eat and, all the this stuff. I want to use a swear word here, but I'm not. The stuff, the bad stuff in the foods. And so at one point, I was just getting all these advices from all these different people. You got to take this pill and you got to take that pill. And my favorite of all time was Formula 2001. This was back in 1999. I figured, you know what? This is it. 2001, I read all the ingredients, had no freaking idea what any of those ingredients mean. Man, but I was sitting at my desk one day, and I kid you not, but I had like 20 different bottles in front of me, and I felt terrible. I was jumping off the walls. This was happening. That was happening, and half the stuff just tasted terrible. And you know what? I threw it all away. I just said, this does not make any sense. And that was the beginning of my appreciation of anti-aging, integrated medicine, all those kinds of things. I was actually going to embark on that because I really felt that as a plastic surgeon with personal transformation, that there was much more to all of that than just the physical part. We needed to have the internal part change as well. But what I'm getting at is this. And I want to wrap it up just before this break with this statement, is that, I trust my body. I trust my body to be aware of what's good for it and what it needs to reject. And that's why we have taste buds. That's why we have smell. And for anyone to consume anything that tastes really bad under the assumption that it's good just does not make any sense to me. And over the years, I've tried a lot of things that just didn't taste good, and I just put them away. And so what I love about this product, and I think this is key because they've been able to dial into a product that not only tastes great, it feels great when you take it in, but more importantly for me in particular, it's not like I'm eating asparagus and my urine smells and my skin smells afterwards. And this is a key component for me because everything else that I've ever tried, has had that problem. And what I like about this product, which is critical, is that it tastes good. There's so many different options. You got the chocolates, you got the shakes, you got all these other things. They all taste good. And so that's an important part in anything that we get to consume. So I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation, talking to Drew Berman about a phenomenal product, a phenomenal opportunity, how you can change your life, how you can live your life by your design. And we'll be right back after this break.
We'll be back with Dr. Rademacher right after these. Stand Up and Speak Up with host Walt Grassel, sharing stories of people who have taken steps to overcome their fears and now lead stronger, more fulfilling lives. Are you ready to take that first step towards a different life? Join Walt as he shares his tales of triumph over stage fright and public speaking. Walt has performed stand-up comedy at the Hollywood Improv, as well as the Flamingo in Las Vegas, and wants to help you conquer whatever is holding you back. Join him and his guests for Stand Up and Speak Up, every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Radio Star Worldwide, and on demand 24/7. Do you like the rock and roll way of doing things? How would you like to learn how to apply them to your business? Then tune in to the Tim Gillette Radio Show every Tuesday on Radio Star Worldwide. Tim Gillette is the creator of Rock and Roll Keys to Business Success, using music, motorcycles, and mentorship to teach entrepreneurs to become leaders in their industry. Join Tim and his guest every Tuesday at high noon Eastern on Radio Star Worldwide. Welcome back to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. And now, once again, your host, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
So welcome back. And here's the key message, the key triangle, what Drew Berman talks about from Isagenix. It's health, it's income, and it's free time. And it's your way to stay younger longer, and getting that body optimized, getting that ideal weight, getting rid of those toxins, and getting the nutrition that's not only delicious, but it's really good for you. So welcome back, Drew. So tell us, we're going to slowly wrap some things up here, but just give me some more key points on some of the other products that you have.
So I love how you mentioned my lifestyle triangle: better health, better wealth, and more free time. With this program, you can actually have it all. I had better health. I got down to my high school weight. My dad lost 56 pounds. I had better income. I had residual income coming in, and I was able to free up time. I was able to take a 60-hour-a-week job and turn it into a 10-hour-a-week business, which was amazing. So we have a myriad of products. We have this brand new product line that the Olympic level folks are really excited about. It's called NSF Certified, which is the National Sporting Foundation. It's the highest level legal protein. We have the highest grade protein available. It comes from New Zealand. It comes from free-range cows. There's no hormones or antibiotics. It's all natural and normal and grass-fed. So the NSF certification is brand new, and that got the attention of the high-level Olympians. We work with a lot of NFL guys, NBA guys. We also have a kosher line, which is really neat. We also have an immune system booster, which is a spray. We have a sleep spray that has a small amount of natural melatonin that allows a gentle, deep sleep. We have an energy shot that even teenagers can have that doesn't have a sugar crash, that is good for your morning. It's got a little bit of caffeine from something called herbal mate, so it's a super healthy, clean type of caffeine. We also have a really great organic coffee which has adaptogens and a little bit of green tea. We have a full line of sporting products, pre-workout, post-workout recovery, electrolytes. We have a higher-end protein in addition to our protein shake with some extra protein for those that are lifting weight. Our skincare is as good. You know, you're a surgeon. Our skincare was designed by a surgeon whose daughter was in a fire. So our skin care is fire victim sensitive, which is amazing. So from our day cream to our night cream, I am a big fan of our skincare. I notice a difference on my face when I use it. And our newest product, which could be a standalone product, is called our Product B, which was named as a joke, as it would help us go to $1 billion. But Product B is now called Isagenix, and it actually helps us age more youthfully. It slows down the aging process. It's in pill form, and it comes in gender-specific, men or women, and people are noticing a difference in hair, skin, nails. And I've been doing this for 10 years, and I can't wait for the next 10.
Awesome, awesome. So am I taking that Isagenix or not?
It's called Isagenix. If in your pill form, you would have it in your little packets, AM and PM. If you're not, you should be, but they're a set of pills. It looks like it's in a little, tiny little packet, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches, and they would have 6 vitamins in it. It has your CoQ10, your vitamin C, your omegas, your resveratrol, as well as your anti-aging Product B.
Yeah, because right now I'm taking the Ageless Essentials with 4th generation. Oh yeah, Product B, Isagenix is great. Well, that's why it feels so good. But you know what? I can't believe you're putting stuff on your face. Are you really? As a guy, you're putting cream on your face?
I am. Every morning and every night. I don't get so much into the cleanser and the toner much, but I do use the day cream and the night cream. Once a week, I do use the serum. Some people use the eye cream. We also have a full body wash and hand lotion. We also have a sunblock. So it's like kind of setting people up with their own mall online where they can buy higher quality products at lower cost and then if they decide to refer it, they can. So I'd love to give the folks an opportunity to kind of check this out. Can I offer a place to visit, a site?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, if you just go to the Lose Weight System, theloseweightsystem.com, that'll bring you right to a place where you can educate yourself about what we discussed, as well as potentially make an order, as well as reach out to one of us and ask some questions.
Oh, that's phenomenal, and I think you got me sold on this too, Drew. I think one of the things that I like is even after having studied for 17 years in the medical profession, went to medical school when I was 17, and it took me 17 years to be able to hang out my shingle. And what I love about this, and so many very successful people just relate to the fact that the business world is changing. And this is a very professional, very serious, very marketable, a very sustainable way of creating your own personal income. Because here's the truth. The truth is, as technology develops, there'll be less and less and less jobs, around. But the truth still remains that we need things. We need things for, our livelihood. We need things for our lifestyle. We need things for our body, whatever it is. And so becoming a network marketing professional is an incredible way because it gives you the freedom. Just like you said, you've got a 10-hour business. I mean, how cool is that? But not only that, you're consuming products that are great for you as well. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that. And what I like about it too is that, well, let me ask you this. For any of the listeners that are listening in on this, on average, how much would someone want to spend per month to really get a lot of the benefit? I'm not talking maxed out with every single thing, but what would you say would be an average that anybody would need to spend to really get a good benefit from the products?
Well, I love that question because it's really important. You spoke before about, well, it's good that they're healthy, but how do they taste? So not only are they healthy and they're delicious, they actually save you money on your food bill. It comes down to $3.50 per meal. It's a full-on meal replacement. And I just know, like when I met you, we were at a hotel for 5 days. I, as a human, don't want to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the hotel for multiple reasons. One, it's expensive. Two, the food's not highest quality. And three, you and I were in seminars. So we had some rushed meals. Well, while all the people would wait online for their meal and then rush back into the meeting, I would go upstairs, I would make my shake, I would not spend any money, I would get fully saturated with nutrition, I would do my meditation, I would go for a walk, and I would come back refreshed, and people had stuffed their face after waiting online, so it's easy to travel with. So I have a family that pays their mortgage because of their relationship with Isagenix, and they save a couple $100 a month on their
So, but
food
Drew,
bill.
how much do you think you would have to spend per month? I mean, just to consume a product. I mean, what's the average?
Well, we have a $10 a day program. We have a $20 a day program. Whether you're a student or a family of four, we've got a program for you. So, with a wide variety of food choices, it really comes down to $3 or $4 per meal, and then we allocate based on your health goals and stuff like that. So someone can spend a couple $100 on their Isagenix and save some money on their food bill.
Right. So you're talking about $200 a month, something like that.
Yep, something like that. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, and that's key because we spend so much money and all the other stuff that's not really good for us, and here's a way to optimize our body in a very affordable way. And what's interesting, what a lot of people actually do forget, is that the cost it saves from staying away from the doctor, and that's a key component. But I'm going to wrap it up. This has been a delightful conversation with you, Drew. And I'd like to wrap it up with this. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation, talking to Drew Berman with Isagenix, the phenomenal company. And it's understanding this question, is that the future of medicine is in you. What would you do? What other decisions would you make? And how would you choose to impact other people's lives? Because the truth is that if the future of medicine is in you, what does that mean? That means there's a body intelligence, there's a mind intelligence, there's an energy intelligence. And this is all about body intelligence, giving yourself the right nutrients so that you can be healthy. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation, hashtag real people, hashtag real conversation. Thank you, and we will be back next week.
Thanks for listening to Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Transformation. Join Dr. Bart Rademacher live right here on Radio Star Worldwide each week or on demand 24/7.